We back. I had to take a little small break. I needed to be a good father and throw my daughter one of the most amazing Blues Clues themed birthday parties. She fucking loved it. And she had a lot of fun, and so did everybody else. I also got sick as fuck. I had flu type B. Now, I didn't even know that the flu had a B-side like a cassette tape. That shit's crazy. But I'm going to tell you, side B got some fucking bangers. Bro, I was sick as fuck. I was down for the count. If you wanted to whoop my ass, that would have been the perfect time to do it. Also, this past Monday, I just got my wisdom tooth pulled, my last one. And the crazy thing is I forgot I scheduled it. I thought I was just going in for a cleaning. So now I got this big ass gaping hole. Words that I never thought I'd ever say. I'm usually not on the receiving side. I'm sorry. Roll the intro. Welcome to Midnight Media Review with Moel, a show for content creators by a content creator. Now, I don't know if you know, but this is a dope-ass show. So if this is your first time tuning in, do me a favor and go back and check out all the episodes. But tonight, I've heard that we got an amazing guest coming through. She is an actor. She's a rock star. She's a Playboy model. And her name is Stormi Maya. If you don't know who that is, go ahead and do a quick Google search and find out. But she's a beautiful legend. And do me a favor and stay tuned for after the break. But in the meantime, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and ring that bell so you can be reminded of the future episodes coming up. So the first segment of tonight, S.U.C.S, which stands for shit you see on social media. Now, I'll explain what that means and why I didn't put the M on the end. But if you haven't watched the other episodes, do yourself a favor and go do that, because they're all great. But in the meantime, roll it.
My son was teething. He used to like to take the big fat rubber end of my vibrating toothbrush and put it in his mouth on. Okay. And he'd just kind of sit there like, oh yeah, that feels good. That hit the spot. My gums are ace.
Love the focus here with the driver on 13. A deer is sucking off another deer in the background. It does not faze him as he rips that down the middle. That's about 315.
I just want to know, is that big ass cat being kidnapped? Or is it like throwing a temper tantrum? Is it drunk? Okay, ladies, listen. I know this got to remind you of the times when you're the one sober friend in the club and you got the one drunk friend just fucking sloppy drunk all over the club, and you know you need to get her out and save her ass or save everybody else from her ass. Also, how the hell is this lady so calm, so comfortable enough to carry this big ass dangerous animal and just throw it on the ground outside of what seemed like the club? Like, I don't even know what country this is in. I got questions and I need answers. So if you know anything about this video clip, let me know. Drop a comment, whatever. What do you think? Please, I want to hear it. This next segment is called MMR Updates. This is a segment where we like to give a little bit of a news update on things that are going on either in the media, in the public, in your neighborhood, back of your house. And tonight we're talking about Shohei Ohtani. And if you don't know who Shohei Ohtani is, he is an LA Dodgers batter, and he is fucking phenomenal. So, the superstar baseball player Shohei Ohtani is looking for ways to recuperate a sum of $16 million stolen from him by now fired interpreter Ippei Mizuhara. The gambling addict placed over 19,000 bets from 2021 to 2024, which was approximately 25 bets a day. That's fucking insane. Now, he was placing these bets using money stolen from the 6'4" Japanese LA Dodgers bank account. Ippei won somewhere around $140 million, but his losses were greater at about $180 million. This guy's in the fucking negative. That's you can do math. That's $40 million this guy owes. So he got desperate. Now, the ex-Ohtani interpreter got access because he helped create Shohei's accounts, but refused to give access to Ohtani's financial advisors, his accountants. Now, Ippei is facing federal charges, and if convicted, he's going to spend about 30 plus years in prison. It ain't worth it. Fuck, that ain't worth it. That's crazy. So Sydney Sweeney is under attack for her looks and her acting abilities. The Euphoria actor received harsh criticism from Hollywood producer Carol Baum, known for her movies like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Father of the Bride, Straight Talk, not to be confused with the mobile company. The kicking and screaming producer said, and I quote, "She isn't pretty, and she can't act." Okay, now let's think about that. I would say that she's definitely wrong about the Madam Web star's acting abilities. She can act, but everyone can act. I mean, think about it. Everyone can sing, right? You can carry a tune, you can sing. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're good at it. Now let's think about her looks. Okay, so if someone says that you're not pretty, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're ugly, right? There's a gray area there. But you know what Carol can't attack? That rack. You know what? Now that I think about it, Sydney, I think that Carol's jealous. I think that's the reason why she went on her little tantrum about your acting abilities and your looks. She's jealous of those boobs. I mean, come on, them some nice ass titties.
You have great New York boobs.
Oh my God.
Now, Sydney did respond with some watered down political nice bullshit. I'm sorry. I tried to read it and then I just realized that she was just trying to play nice and not getting in any trouble. So a lot better than what I would have done, because I would have went ham. If you want to attack me, I'm most likely going to respond, unless I don't deem it's worthy. Sydney shouldn't have played nice. And honestly, I feel like Carol Baum probably just did this shit just to make herself more relevant, because what the fuck is the last thing that she did? Like, I don't even fucking know. Yep, The Ringer? I'm sorry, I don't know. So this next segment is content creators. Now, being a content creator, I like to spotlight content creators. And tonight, I'm giving you Adam Waheed. Now, if you're not familiar with Adam Waheed, this guy's done a bunch of hilarious comedy skits with like A-list celebrities, B-list celebrities, C-list celebrities. but he's a well-known a skit artist and content creator. Shit, on Instagram, he's got like 9 million followers. So it'd be weird if you don't know who he is, but if you don't, you're welcome. Let's go ahead and roll this real. Roll it.
Hey, baby. I made you some food.
Oh, thanks.
How is it?
Yeah, no, it's good. It just needs some salt. Should be good.
Is it good?
Yeah, no, it's good. It just needs some more garlic.
Okay. How is it?
Oh, no, it's good. It just needs a whole new meal on top of it.
Okay. Is it good?
Oh, no, it's good. It just needs a prayer from God.
Okay.
Now Adam is hilarious. He's got way more funnier skits, but because of a lot of the music that he plays in his skits, it'd be copywritten tagged. So I'd rather just not. But do yourself a favor and hit the follow button on Adam's page. You like his stuff. This next segment is called The Plug, a segment where we like to promote independent business owners, entrepreneurs, whatever it may be. We want to make sure that we get a spotlight on you guys so you guys can get a little bit of a shine too. And tonight we have Junks in the Trunk. It sounds a little weird, right? So Junks in the Trunk is an independently owned licensed waste management company. They can help you get rid of your waste. And when I say they can help, meaning they'll do all the work themselves. They get rid of your yard waste, appliances, furniture that you don't need anymore. They also do sanitation and pressure washing. So if you are in the Washington area, do yourself a favor. If you got some junk you need to get removed, if you own an apartment complex or homes and you want to contract out and don't want to have to do all that work by yourself, you want a good price, give co-owner Ricky Chapman a call at 253-271-0767. Or you can even hit them up online at junktac.com. You can even hit their Instagram account, junktac. And you know what? Tell them I sent you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. This is the last segment. Some of y'all favorite. IGBG, which stands for Instagram Beauty Goddess. And tonight we are giving you Virginia Sanhouse. I know who that is. And tonight you will thank me. Well, technically you'll thank Reggie, because I thank Reggie every single time this segment comes by. So thank you, Reggie. Virginia Sanhouse is a Venezuelan-born fitness model. She is the founder of Sanhouse Fit, which is a fitness clothing company that she created. She's a Fashion Nova ambassador, and she's a goddamn Instagram beauty sensation. So enjoy it. Roll it. Jesus fucking Christ. I know you enjoyed the clip. I knew I enjoyed the clip. It's bad, man. Okay, so listen. So we are at the end of the first segment. We're going to get to this commercial break. And stay tuned. We got Stormi Maya coming up after the break. That's what I've been told. So wish us luck.
Let's go. Okay. Are we doing this?
So funny, I can't even see that shit. How long have you been producing and engineering for a little toddler?
Let's see. It's been a little over 3 years now. Moel brought him to me. How long have you been Little Toddler's manager?
It's been about 3 years. Yeah, I would say about 3 years.
How did you get the name Little Toddler?
I'm glad you asked. When I was a baby, I used to throw a lot of temper tantrums, and I just wanted to make sure that I got what I wanted, and so I threw a lot of temper tantrums, and so people started calling me a toddler all the time.
All babies do that.
Yeah, well, I still throw temper tantrums, and I still get what I want. Little Toddler says he's the best rapper alive. Would you agree?
God, no. He fucking sucks. Do you hear that?
I'm an assassin. I be smashing. I got a bitch to put the ass in assassin.
I'm the reason he doesn't sound like Ice JJ Fish. I'm really fucking good at what I do. Shit, at DJ Malo Studios here, I can make Ice JJ Fish sound like Jay-Z. I'm that good. What made you say yes?
His dumbass offered me 30%. That's pretty much unheard of, man. No manager get 30%.
He says his style is Bane from Batman meets Lil Wayne. Would you agree?
Is that what he said? I mean, it's more like Rick James meets fentanyl.
Bright lights got me blind like a bat. This nightlife I'm living got my mind feeling trapped. It's been a few weeks since I woke up to see the sun. Don't get up in the morning cause the night is too much fun.
Who are your inspirations?
I would say the greatest rapper that ever existed in human history.
Jay-Z?
Jay-Z. I know fucking Jay-Z, man. Shakespeare.
Shakespeare is a poet.
Well, all we did was just put a beat to it.
Bright lights got me blind as a bat. This nightlife I'm living got my mind feeling trapped. It's been a few weeks since I woke up to see the sun. Don't get up in the mornings cause the night is too much fun.
Your first album, Potty Trained. How did you come up with that?
That's some funny shit, man. You know, Potty Train was supposed to be Party Train. And what happened was that some dumbass at print made a fucking mistake and we got Little Toddler Potty Trained instead of Little Toddler Party Train. Actually, that was me. I told him that there was an error with print and he believed it. Dumbass.
How would you define your style of rap?
My style is like, I don't think you can define my style. It's undefinable. But if I was to say anything, I would say like my style is like Bane meets Wayne. Damn, you know, that would have been a good idea. Little Bane. I should have went with that. Welcome back to Midnight Media Review, and tonight we have a very special guest. You have seen her in many different movies, magazines. She's actually the lead singer of a rock band known for a very controversial song called Rock and roll is black.
You know what my name is.
Yeah, but you just tell me with the quickness. You know, I like it when you say it.
Yennefer Clemente.
Yeah, right. I was just joking. Yennefer Clemente, like Roberto.
Nice.
Yennefer, Nola, Yennefer.
Nice to meet you, Yennefer.
Oh, who is this?
Okay.
What are you doing at the mall?
This is Mr. Bruce.
Okay, darling.
Mr. Bruce.
Eyes up here.
I take him everywhere with me. I hope that's not a problem.
Not at all. Not at all.
My dominance is your weakness. Think every girl's made with sweetness. Screw your perfect image of me. I'm the underdog, just let me free. Face in the dirt as a twerk on your grave. Picking up your scent as I spit on your cake. The name on my collar I can't escape. Big man wanna lick me afraid. So you wanna see a bitch? Got a mouth, got a muzzle full of sex.
Please give a warm welcome to the beautiful and sensational Stormi Maya. How you doing tonight?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. So I got a slew of questions for you, and I just want to catch people up real quick. So you're from New York, right? Originally?
I'm from the Bronx, correct.
Nice. Okay. You had moved to California, but you're recently in Vegas now.
Yes.
That's dope. What sparked the move?
Los Angeles is very expensive, and if you want to live paycheck to paycheck, or if you want to spend all your savings, it's a great place to live. But if you want to save money, Vegas is very affordable. There's no state income tax. The houses are very affordable, less traffic. It's a lot cleaner, and it's a very beautiful state, Nevada. Yeah. So yeah.
No, I actually got a cousin that lives in Vegas, and she's been out there for 15 years, I think. But she's always talked about how the cost of living in Vegas is super low, unless you live right where everything's popping at. Then you're gonna be paying an arm and a leg.
I am still where everything is popping, and it is still very cheap.
I mean, especially compared to California. Yeah, I'm actually from California. Yeah. The cost of living is super high.
Yeah, I mean, I'm comparing it as someone who's a New Yorker who lived in LA, even though I live in a hot spot, and it's very affordable still, this price you would have to live in the outskirts of LA or New York. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Yeah,
I couldn't do it. I love Vegas, but I couldn't see myself living there because I could see myself getting into a lot of trouble. So we're not gonna dig into that.
It's actually pretty family oriented and pretty calm. Yeah. Outside of the strip. Yeah. It's people are always shocked to hear that because it's Sin City, but it's actually outside of the strip, it's very suburbanish, it's very chill, it's very slow pace, but still city-ish, it's not country, it's not rural, you can still, there's tons of shops, tons of places to go, a lot of things going on, a lot of events, but it's laid back. So I love it. I like it.
That's what's up, man. I haven't been to Vegas in a while, so I might need a reason to go back now. So let's hop into your career moves now. So you were in a movie with Jennifer Lopez, Cardi B, Keke Palmer, Usher, known as Hustlers. Now you played Angel, right?
Yeah.
Man, so how was it being on stage with all these big celebrities? What did that feel like?
That was back in 2019, and it was when I was still very new to acting, and it was definitely very surreal to be in that position that early on as an actor, because it was ever since I started acting, the ball was just rolling for me. I started acting professionally in 2016, and after only a year, I was working with Spike Lee, on She's Gotta Have It. And
I was gonna get to that.
Then right after, I'm doing ABC, I'm doing The Last OG, I'm meeting Tracy Morgan, I'm meeting Cedric Entertainer, I'm now, you know, doing Hustlers, and I'm meeting J-Lo, and I'm meeting Kiki, and and it was just surreal for me. And as an actor, it was very validating to be around these people. And I met Will Ferrell because he was a producer. So I got to shake his hand and talk to him on set because he was one of the producers of Hustlers. And for me, it just was surreal to like meet these people in real life, and to go from watching people growing up and then to be in their presence, working with them, recording with them. It's definitely like a really amazing feeling. So
hey,
yeah.
I can only imagine the feeling.
As an actor.
All right,
I have that happen all.
I got a question, and you might think this is funny, but I'm serious though. When you seen J-Lo like in between shoots, was she like practicing dance moves at all? And you know she got her start on In Living Color as a dancer girl.
No, J-Lo was actually pretty chill. Like between takes, like everyone was just like talking and chilling. Like I talked to, you know, I was hanging out with Kiki Palmer, Lily, Reinhardt. Like we all just like a Constance Wu. Like we were just like regular people, you know, just having conversations, hanging out. Like, and it was, like I said, once again, very surreal to be in the same room and just be casual with these people. I felt so, I don't know, I just felt amazing. And then going to TIFF, like to Toronto Film Festival, and sitting next to J-Lo, and she was with what's the athlete, the baseball guy, her ex.
She put me on the spot. Dang, why can't I remember his name right now?
Starts with an A. A-Rod?
Yeah. A-Rod.
Yeah. So getting to meet him at the Toronto Fest, it's like I said, it's just so surreal meeting these people and working with them. It made me feel so good as an actor. It made me feel like, wow, like I'm actually doing this. Like I'm actually doing this for real. And I've had that moment a couple of times as an actor where I'm like, wow, look at who I'm next to. Like that was, you know, one example of it, but it's happened to me a lot. So
it's dope, and I salute you for it, because you've been pushing for a hot minute. I want to get to now. I know that this role wasn't like the biggest role, but there was like a lot of celebrities on here, and I'm sure that it probably helped with like making those connections. So you was just in, well, not just in, but you was in a movie called Holiday Rush with Romani and Tamala Jones, Dion Cole. Dion Cole's such a funny ass dude, man.
Yeah, he's very.
Anybody shooting with Dion Cole, I'm sure it probably takes like 15 takes just to get it right, because this guy's got you laughing all the time.
Yeah, I work with a lot of like really good comedians, and they always like bring so much life to set. It's like hilarious working with like certain people. It's like, oh my God, definitely.
And you played a character named Katrina, so you know, alongside Romani Malco. Now I got a question. Did Romani hit on you on set by any chance?
No.
Man, I feel like that dude be hit on all the pretty girls.
No. I think he had a baby like a year after that movie or something.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm sure he had like
okay.
I think he had like a baby right after, but no, he was very sweet to me, and like he follows me on social media. He's very supportive of me. He's very nice with me, but like no, it stopped there. Like he was very sweet and nice to me, but no, it was no like flirting. Not that I think. No, like not. I'm not one of those women that thinks like just because a guy's nice to me, he's like flirting with me. You know, like I'm not like assuming everyone's attracted to me. You know, I don't.
Hey, honestly, that's very like humble of you. But honestly, since I've been following you for a while, I've always felt like you've been a pretty humble girl, anyways. Like I don't feel like the fame has ever gotten to your head like a lot of other celebrities do. Like I feel like you've always known who you are and remained that way, even though you're popping. Like you're still who you are. So that's dope.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not. I guess I'm not really where I would consider being like a celebrity or famous or anything. Like I feel like I'm climbing that ladder. I don't really know where I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just happy being a part of the chaos. Like I don't really care about being at the top, but I know what it requires to be at the very top of this type of industry.
Oh yeah.
And it's a lot of just stuff that I'm not even willing to deal with or do. So I'm just happy to be able to create art and get paid for it. So yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, and that's what the goal should be, right? Is creating art, doing what you love, and getting paid for it.
Basically,
because therefore it's not even a job anymore.
Exactly. I'm fortunate to where I make a living just being creative and doing stuff at my own pace and stuff, and I'm just very fortunate for that. So.
You know what? Speaking of creative, since you're on the subject, you also have an AI double. Wait, just to make sure, I'm not talking to AI right now, am I? You're a real person, like. I'm just, the technology these days. You never know anymore. I don't know.
Nah, they haven't gotten the hair perfect yet. The hair is still kind of like. See, I got a picture of her right here.
Okay.
Like, it looks pretty good. I mean.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to build up her page or whatever. And it's funny because I know this is something that's gonna like take over, and I know this is gonna be something that like every celebrity, every like influencer, in my opinion, is gonna eventually have one of these. Mm-hmm. And I like to jump on the things early, and everyone talks really like shit about it in the beginning, like, oh, who's gonna want to talk to a clone, and oh, this is so weird, and all this, but. Mark my words, it's going to be like you want to talk to Snoop Dogg, you want to talk to J-Lo, you want to talk to Cardi B. There's going to be an AI version of them that you can pay money to talk to, ask questions to, and people are going to pay for it because I'm already making money from people paying for it. People told me, no one's going to want to pay to talk to a clone, but how come I'm getting a check every week from people talking to my clone? So clearly people do want to talk to a clone.
And the good thing is that you're on it early. So since our people are seeing this and seeing that you're making away with it, everybody's going to do what everybody else always does and hop on your coattails.
It's going to take over. I'm seeing them pop up, like the influencer girls. I'm seeing them pop up everywhere. And like I said, I know the celebrity ones are going to come up soon. Just like OnlyFans. I was on OnlyFans like back when it first started, the first year it opened. And people were like, whatever, what's that? And now everybody has one. Celebrities have one. Everybody's mama has one. It's the same concept. Like, everyone's going to want an AI. Everyone's going to want, like, a version of themselves that you can talk to. They've replicated my voice. They have a video version of me. They have they have pictures of me. Like, they can make her do anything, make her look any type of way, have her in any location. I'm getting my friends signed up. I'm getting like other girls I know signed up. So I have a lot of confidence this is going to be something that's in a couple years, everyone's going to have one. You're going to want to talk to Ariana Grande. There's going to be a link where you can pay money and talk to the fake Ariana Grande. Man,
this is crazy. Like I just saw the future of Terminator with the face of Stormi Maya. Like Skynet's gonna be real. I'm serious. Skynet's gonna be real. So I know people are like, wait, she's got OnlyFans, man. What's the link to that? So we're gonna get to that in a second. We still got some more questions to ask because this little conversation just made a great segue to my next question. So you were in a movie called 2050. You played Quinn. This is a movie that's directed by Princeton Holt. So you played alongside Devin Fuller. How was that experience?
So that movie was actually the first movie I got cast in. Mm-hmm. It was a supporting role, pretty big role for a first time movie. First time ever being in a movie. And Princeton Holt is a producer and a director. He's a good friend of mine, and he wasn't at the time, but I didn't know who he was at first, but I did theater. I used to be a theater actor out in New York. So he came and watched one of my shows. I had like a performance, and he was there to actually see another actress that I was friends with. And while he was there, he saw me performing. And after the play, he came up to me and was like, what is that thumbs up on the
I
screen.
don't know. I
And
took a
then,
drink of my drink and the thumbs up went up.
oh, okay. I was like, what is that? So after he saw the performance, he came up to me and he was like offered me the role of Quinn, and I was like super excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
I got to work with Dean Cain, which Dean Cain, hey Superman.
Yeah.
Everyone doesn't know.
Don't forget Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Huh?
Ripley's Believe It or Not. He was the host.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I remember this Believe It or Not. I did not remember him being the host. I haven't watched that since I was a kid, that show. But yeah. So, I got to that was a really good movie, like to start my career off with. And it was a really good experience. It's sci-fi. And I really do hope in the future to do more like science fiction, more, I like stuff like that, like artsy stuff, things that are, kind of out there. I hope to do more stuff in that genre in the future, because lately in the past couple of years, it's been mostly drama and comedy, which I still love, but I would love to get more into some like, I don't know, just like some out there stuff.
So like if you had a choice on your next big move, would it be something like, okay, so Disney has Star Wars. Would you want to be like a Star Wars character or Marvel? Like, what are you looking at?
I mean, obviously that's like every actor's dream, right? To like be in something that big, that would just like be like a dream come true.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of obviously how big their platform is, like who would not want that,
True.
I think my biggest dream as an actor is to like lead a movie where I'm like a very iconic character. Like I want to be in something where it's like a quotable, like just a pop culture, just like a notch in pop culture. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this movie is like when you think about this time era, like this movie. It's kind of like Molly Ringwald movies, right? You think about Molly Ringwald, she represents like the 80s. Like her movies all were like super iconic and quotable, and they resonated with people. They were nostalgic for people. I would love to be in something where it's like nostalgic for people in like 10, 20 years. Mm-hmm. Like, wow, like this was the movie. Yeah, I would love to just be in something like that. Or something that's like inspirational, like a character that's just like super badass. So when people think about this character, it's like something they resonate with, like kind of how men are like, oh, I want to be like Rambo. I want to be like the Terminator. Like I want to be in something like that for women where they're like, oh, I want to be like her. Like everyone wants to be like Samantha from Sex and the City. I want to be like an iconic character, like someone that's like, you know what I mean? Like that would be hot, like something like that.
You know who does really iconic movies is Quentin Tarantino. He does like really good like pop culture type movies, from like, I mean, Inglourious Bastards, Django, like in just crazy Pulp Fiction. Phenomenal movie. So those are like really good like pop culture movies, and I feel like you could probably play like a role in something like that too.
I would love to. I mean, unfortunately, there's not a lot of good pop culture movies being made anymore, because everything now is like remakes, and everything is like something cannot be iconic or like a part of this generation if it's like a remake of another generation. You know what I'm saying? It has to be something where it's like a Mean Girls. I would love to be like a cult film where it's like people just resonate with it. Like their whole personalities around this movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like I would love to be in something like that. Like a Regina George or something. I would just love to be an iconic, fun character where I can really embody that person. So yeah.
I could dig it. All right, so I'm gonna move to TV real quick because you got some nice roles in TV. Now you mentioned She's Gotta Have It earlier. You played Jennifer in She's Gotta Have It. She's Gotta Have It. It was a wild show. It sucks that it did end, but it was a good ending in my opinion. So you play Jennifer. Quick question. Now, the character Jennifer has a Latin background, and I know that you have some Latin roots. Could you please just give like a quick definition of actually what you actually are?
I am not Latina. I am not.
You're
Hispanic.
Not. All the blogs were saying this girl has Latin roots. It's perfect. I'm glad I actually got you on here to clarify.
Oh, I mean, I feel like, I don't know. Jennifer Clemente, she is Puerto Rican. She's a New Rican. So she's kind of based on like Rosie Perez.
Yeah.
And she's like a Puerto Rican girl from the Bronx or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am Black, so I am not. I mean, Puerto Ricans can be Black too, but I am a Black American. I'm African American.
Gotcha.
So I am not Hispanic. I'm not Latina. When I went in for the role, I was in a room full of actual, I think, Hispanic, Latina girls, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I guess for me, I kind of took her on and made her like an Afro Latina, basically.
Yeah.
You know, I made her like, you know, an Afro like Puerto Rican girl. But I have played Hispanic, Latina a couple of times. Like I've played Dominican, because I have a versatile look. So I've played Hispanic multiple times. I don't even speak Spanish. If I did, that'd be even better. But you know,
you might want to hop on that Duolingo or something. You know, just to brush up on a little bit of Spanish.
My ex-husband's Puerto Rican, but that's about all the reference I have for it.
You know what? Maybe that's where they got the idea from. Because like literally everywhere that I was looking, it said that you had like some type of Latin background. It was crazy. So I was
I used to have my ex-husband's last name.
Yeah.
And he was Puerto Rican, and so I think because I had maybe a Hispanic last name. My last name used to be Alvarado.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know,
makes sense
because of that.
All right, so I just finished up, like I just wrapped up Wu-Tang in American Saga, and I didn't even know you were even in that. And I'm sitting there, I'm watching like, that's Stormi Maya. It threw me off guard because I didn't know. Now you was on set with Shameik Moore, and for those of you who don't know who Shameik Moore is, you should. He's actually the voice of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the Miles Morales version. So
he's doing big shit right now.
Yeah. I actually remember him from The Get Down. So you were on set with Shameik Moore, and it got pretty hot and heavy on set. So tell me, what was the experience of having a sensual moment with Shameik Moore? Was he nervous?
Was he nervous?
Was he nervous?
I don't know. I mean, he's a sweetheart, though. He's a nice person. I actually knew him prior to filming. We had spoke like a year before that. Like, we had just connected on social media. We were cool with each other. So I knew who he was when I got to set. We, like, knew who each other. We already knew each other word before. We talked before. Like, we like, chatted before. So a couple people there, like, I'm like, oh, yeah, I know. Like, a lot of times when you meet people on set, you've already supported them. You've already followed them. You already know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, everybody is, like, super professional, so it's kind of, like, you know, it's just, I look at it just like a job. It's, like, you know, I personally don't like intimate scenes at all. I've never been a fan of them. I just do them because they're a part of the job.
Yeah.
So I just kind of, like, just zone out and do what I have to do. I mean, I don't think it's ever really comfortable for people just to, like, have to kiss or touch people they just met that day, or that they just, you know what I mean? Like, it's always going to be awkward. I don't know how, like, porn stars and stuff do it, where they meet someone that day and they just get freaky. I have to do it. I think that, you know, I give them a lot of credit, because I don't know how people can just say hi and then
pull your dick out.
And maybe they're not attracted to the person. They just go. I'm pretty sure they're not attracted to everybody they film with, and they somehow, like, do what they have to do. But as an actor, it's like the same thing, you know, it's just like a part of the job. It's just acting, you know, you just look at it like, okay, what do we have to do? Okay, I'm gonna do this. Okay. And everyone's super respectful, and we had a really good director, and he allowed us to, you know, do things within our comfort. They never push you to do more than you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and it was obviously three of us. Like, it was me, him, and another girl, and we had to all be intimate together, which made it even more interesting and, you know, kind of nerve-wracking, because it's like, okay, you got two people you gotta make out with that day. And, you know, making out with this girl, making out with him.
But you got the job done. You understood the assignment. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to hop into your music career, because I feel like you've been doing some major things and you've got some amazing content. It's crazy because, like, I actually listen to rock. I've actually been a rock fan for a long time. People wouldn't even guess that. But like my favorite rock band is Korn, and some of them, your music, some of your music, I'm like, yo, like she's got a little bit of corn flavor in it. I fuck with this. Like it's good. So, but what blew my mind. Okay, so this young lady is the lead singer of Cinnamon Babe. It is a phenomenal rock band, and if you haven't heard it, by all means, please go to YouTube or Pandora or whatever it is your streaming service is. Throw on some Cinnamon Babe because she's fire. So you just did a remix to Unity, the Queen Latifah track from over 30 years ago. That shit was dope. I never thought that a rock version of UNITY was something that I needed to hear. And you did that. Please tell me, what was your thought process on coming up with this?
So I've actually always been a fan of like older music, if I could say that. So one thing is that people have always kind of dissed me for being a little bit older school, right? So even when I first came into music in general, a lot of people were like, "Your shit sounds so 90s, your shit sounds so this." And for a long time, I was like feeling insecure about the fact that I, for some reason, gravitate towards older music. And at first, when I first got into music, like years ago, I had experimented with like hip hop for like maybe like the first 2 years of my music career. I didn't fit in it. I feel like I was in the wrong genre, doing the wrong thing, and I just wasn't really into it. But even back then, like the joke was just like, "Oh my God, like you sound like you're from the 90s or whatever." And for the longest time, it was like this insult, like a diss. But what I noticed about the metal community is what I like is that in metal and rock music, it's the opposite of the hip hop community. And rock and metal, it's cool to embrace older music. Like if you talk to most metalheads, most rockers, it's like cool to be a fan of Black Sabbath. It's cool to be a fan of Metallica. It's cool to like Megadeth. It's cool to like older shit, Judas Priest. Like it's like Steel Panther. Like it's cool to like older shit. If you don't know your vets, if you don't know the OGs in rock and metal, you get like no respect. Like you don't get respect in the metal or the rock community. They'd be like, "Oh, I only like these bands from the last 5 years."
Yeah.
The hip hop community is a lot different. The hip hop community in general, I've noticed, is like a lot of ageism. For one, you get dissed for being like an older person making rap. Like, "Oh, you're too old to be a rapper," right? And hip hop in general, like these new guys come in and they diss the OGs, and there's just like not a lot of respect to the older generation. But metal and rock is completely different. Like you have to pay tribute to the originals. Like people really respect when you collaborate or you sound like the OGs in the space, because rock and metal is a different type of community. Yeah. And I feel like I wanted to start embracing the stuff that I like. I like 90s hip hop and stuff like that. You know, I like MC Light. I like Queen Latifah. I like that type of sound. And so the thing that people used to diss me for, I now am embracing, and like people are loving it. I'm like, yo, I like this like older shit. So I'm like, I want to, let me embrace it. Let me bring it into this century and make it in my style. And I really like what a lot of songs back then were saying. And I feel like I'm introducing people that never heard the music from back then. I'm kind of giving them like a gateway to it almost.
Yeah, it's funny that because you mentioned MC Light. MC Light is actually my favorite, like my all-time favorite female rap artist. Like I feel like she brought something to the game that I still feel like I haven't quite seen yet. Like her cadence, her confidence. She was fire. Now she DJs.
Yeah. They don't make them like that anymore.
No, not at all. So you released one of the most controversial songs that I've heard in a long time, called "Rock and Roll Is Black."
Here to corrupt, not here to enjoy. I'm taking my culture back. I'm taking my culture back. 'Cause rock and roll is black.
Now, in the hook it says, "I'm taking my culture back because rock and roll is black." And I feel like a lot of people who had an issue with that song don't understand that rock was created by a quote unquote black guy. You know, it's like Chuck Berry is credited and the inventor of rock and roll. For you guys who don't know, Chuck Berry. So please, for the people, tell us what influenced the title and the song.
So when I first got into metal and rock music, I did not expect the type of backlash that I got initially. I did not realize how much of like a racial, like I knew people were kind of, oh, rock's white music, but I didn't realize how deep it went, because when I came into it, it was instantly, people felt like I did not belong in the space. White people, a lot of white people in the space were like, why are you making this type of music? And I heard immediately from white people in the community, like, this is not for you. Stick to hip hop, stick to R&B, get out of our music. And then a lot of black people were saying, like, why are you making white music? This music's demonic. You need to make hip hop or R&B. They were telling me, like, this is not it. Like, so I heard it from both sides. And it seemed like the whole world was against me making rock and metal just because of my race. And this is before I even released any music. I had announced on Instagram, like, hey guys, I'm going to I'm going to make metal. I'm going to make rock music. And instantly it was like, people were like, this is not the music for you. And I was like, what? And I felt like I constantly had to give people a history lesson, because when they kept saying it's white music, I constantly would have to give lessons like, this is what the music came from. This is who made the music. This music is technically black music. Not to say no one else can make it, not to say that only black people can make it. But the reason I mentioned the history of rock music is because I'm like, how can it be white music if it has black roots? And people took it as me saying that white people could not make it, or that only black people could make it, when I was saying the opposite of like I'm just giving you a history lesson, because I'm responding to what you're saying. You're telling me it's white music. You're telling me I don't belong here. And I'm telling you, like, how is that possible when it was created by black people? And people, like I said, they like to twist things, and they like to be like, oh, you're racist and all. I'm like, how am I the racist one? I'm the one that's trying to make music, and you're the ones telling me that I can't make it because of my race. And then I respond and say, okay, well, when I say I'm taking my culture back, people misinterpreted it as saying only black people can make it. That's not what I was saying. When I say take my culture back, it means like embracing it. Like, we're gonna embrace that this is black music. Like, like Lenny Kravitz said, BET, all these black outlets, they don't embrace the fact that rock music comes from us, that country comes from us, that house music comes from us. Like, and so I want us to reclaim music that we created, just like Beyonce is now reclaiming country music. And people are like, that's a white genre. No, it's not. Country music was made by black Americans. Same with rock music. So I love that black artists now are embracing their roots, and we are going back into genres that our ancestors made. And so when I say taking my culture back, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's not to be taken literal. I don't know why people take music too literal. It's like, I'm taking it back. Like, I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to go back into my roots. Like, people took it like literal. Like, I'm going to take it from you. I don't know. But
like,
yeah,
give me
I mean,
it's mine. You can't have it anymore. Then that's not even what you meant.
People just, I mean, it's, first of all, it's a metal song, so it's going to be hardcore. It's going to be like aggressive. Like, I'm taking, it's supposed to be aggressive because it's supposed to be like that anger that you feel when you're like that black kid and you like want to listen to rock music and you're told like, that's weird and this is not for you. It's like, it's that anger that's built up of like, fuck you, this is black. It's supposed to be that response of irritation of like, what the fuck? Like, this music was made by me. What the fuck do you mean it's not for me? And so, yeah, it's an angry song because it's, first of all, metal. But so, I don't know. People, like I said, to distort things and fit their narrative. They want to so badly be right and make me wrong, and they'll try to flip the narrative. So, whatever.
Unfortunately, that's what happens when you're in any sort of limelight. Is people always find a reason to attack anybody. You could have made a song about rainbows and horseshoes, and people would have found an issue with that. Oh, you're not even, I don't know, Scottish. I'm just making shit up, but just people will find a reason to hate on you for
But
anything.
it's probably like, oh, you got the rainbow. Are you pushing an agenda? Like, who knows? You know, people are just, you know, people just want to be offended and angry about things, but there's actual real things to be offended by. There are metal bands that have actual Nazi white supremacist symbolism in their music and their artwork that they use, and people are okay with that. There's artists that are sex offenders. There are artists that have actual cases against them for sexually assaulting people and children, and people are like, okay, whatever, I love their music, separate the artist from the music.
It's crazy.
But I come to space and I don't fit the like look of it, and automatically I'm like I'm bad. Like ooh.
The perfect example is R. Kelly. You know, you see what happened with him, but yet people defend the fact that he makes good music. So that's the excuse that they're given to listen to him.
People pick and choose. People are so fake with their outrage. Like, you know, like I said, like there's so many popular bands that have had massive racist situations, and people forgive and forget their racist actions. And then I make a song embracing the history of rock. And the reason it was so crazy is because so many people for years have tried to gaslight us that we never made anything. And when people kept saying, well, what does it matter? And the reason it matters, in my opinion, is that when you're a black kid or a brown kid growing up in this country, you are told from day one that you never created shit, that your people don't have shit. We're told every day as Black Americans, like, you don't own anything, y'all don't start anything, y'all didn't create anything, and that we should be grateful to be here on the backs of white men, and that we are nobodies. You know, you go to history class as a kid and you open the books and it tells you that all the inventors, all of the discoverers, they were all white men. You find, oh, the country you live in, white men created it, discovered it. White men are the ones who made these schools for you. White men are the ones who created these this amazing government for you, and and then as a black kid, you're told like you never made anything. But then you find out the truth is you've made so much. They've just
took the credit for everything.
And you know, you don't understand how many black children, black adults don't even know that country or that house music or that rock music was black created. And that is important to know, because it's important to know that you also created shit.
Exactly. But you know, they do that because the same reason why they gave people white Jesus is they want you to look at them as superior. That's the reason why we have the books in schools that we have, and the reason why they give the history lessons that they give, because they don't want you to see yourself in a better light than what they put you in. That's what it comes down to. So, and I want to just point this out too. You're actually the reason why I knew about Slash. I had no idea that his mom is of African descent.
Yeah, Slash is black.
I don't know how I was like, that's crazy.
He looks black. He's like, look at his hair. Like, look at his hair. Well, like, I don't know. I think it's funny. Like, I don't. People know that Lenny Kravitz is black, but I don't know, the Slash. Maybe because Slash wears so much.
He wears all that stuff on his. Yeah, all you can see is this right here. So that's the reason why I didn't know.
He covers up a lot. You can't really. I mean, maybe that was on purpose. I don't know. He's definitely in a time period where, you know, maybe it wasn't the best to know. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of black people in the space before me, before I existed. I think what makes me different from a lot of the black people who have been in the space prior is that I talk about being black while in the space, and a lot of the people who were black in the space didn't talk about being black in the space.
They left ethnicity out of it,
but a lot of people didn't. So you kind of just like, and then a lot of black artists in the space have surrounded themselves with like whiteness to the point where they kind of, no one really notices them. Like they'll be like the black guy in this whole band of white guys, and they kind of like, you know, people don't even really know. I'm also a woman, that adds another like thing to it, and then being a woman that is known for sexuality adds another notch to it, because it's so many things for people to discredit me for. Like, oh, you're just like this model girl. Like, what the fuck do you know? Or like, oh, you're like this is supposed to be like a boys club.
Yeah.
You're like this chick in it. And then people are like, oh, you have this feminist music. And, oh, you know, so I just have so many like strikes against me sometimes in the community. And I'm kind of like the complete opposite of what you think of when you think of a metalhead. When you think of a metalhead, you don't think of Black people, you don't think of women, and you don't think of, I guess, sexy model girls or whatever you want to call it. So I'm like the complete opposite of a metalhead image. Yeah. And I see long hair white guys all day that I am definitely way more fucking metal than, and I'm way more dedicated than, but they probably never get questioned, because I've talked to white dudes in the space and they're like, I've never been fucking questioned for my love of metal. They're instantly accepted in the community, and instantly it's like, oh yeah, of course, man, like you belong here. And for me, it's like I have to prove so fucking much. Now I'm getting to a point as an artist where I feel like I'm getting that respect. I'm getting my flowers, because I feel like people are taking me fucking serious. Like now, like, oh wait, she's like the real fucking deal. Like she's actually about this shit.
You really are. And
they were like, oh, she's just doing this shit for a gimmick. She's just doing this for. She's not seriously a fucking metalhead. She's not actually into the genre. And now that I have songs with like OTEP and fucking Varsity and Banshee, and I have like bigger collabs coming out soon that I talk about once it's out. I'm getting like respect from the OGs. Body Count fucking supports me. They've been on my fucking page. They report me. They respect me. LeJean Witherspoon fucking like supports me, follows me. Like he fucking shows me mad love. Skin shows me mad fucking love. Follows me, respects me. Like on all my posts showing mad love. Kitty fucking follows me. Said they want to collab with me. So like I'm getting respect from the OGs and the major fucking like rock blogs, got Loudwire, Revolt, everyone is like embracing me. So now you can't fucking discredit me and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, the cool thing about you though is that
I work harder than the average person. That's all.
Yeah, but what I feel like what you've done though, because you say you had strikes against you because of your other work, but like I feel like you use that to actually prepare yourself. Like you have a song named Bad Dog.
The name on my collar, I can't escape. Big man wanna lick and free. So you wanna see a bitch? Got a mouth, got a muzzle full of snake.
And I feel like everything that you just explained just now is them saying you should stay in your lane, you should do what you're told. And I feel like Bad Dog was one of those things where at first, just looking at the title, you wouldn't have known what the song was about. You would assume something completely different. Now, what I got from the song was that Bad Dog is about you going against the grain of what they feel like a woman should be. And I feel like instead of calling it bitch, because I feel like that's what you was doing, you instead called it Bad Dog, which was way more friendly when it comes to the music industry, especially when you're going commercial. And am I right when I assume this?
Oh, where'd I go? Yeah, so, you know, I like to not have too much profanity or too much cursing in my music because, for one, if I want to have like it on the radio, a lot of my music now spins on the radio regularly. Mm-hmm. And for advertisements and just being promoted, it's easier if the music is obviously, for one, less the less vulgar it is, the bigger the play is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to go and make some radio version of it. And I mean, I think the word bitch or a couple words are in there, but you don't want your whole hook. You ever seen like a song on the radio? I mean, you've heard a song on the radio, and it's like the whole thing is like bleep, 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 bleep. Like, I want people to actually enjoy the song, and I don't want every other word to be a bleep. But yeah, I mean, Bad Dog is definitely about, like, I'm not, like, a good little pet for you. Like, I'm not what you think women are supposed to be. Women are not, you know, because a lot of people think women are supposed to be docile, obedient, bubbly, sweet, whatever the fuck. And as soon as you're an assertive woman, you know, you're called a bitch, basically. Yeah. You're not allowed to be aggressive as a woman. You're not allowed to set boundaries, for example. And so I like to, you know, I'm like, fuck you, you know? So and I like to make badass women anthems, especially. I think those are the most fun for me, making badass anthems for badass women. So yeah, like Bad Dog's definitely one of my favorites, and Loose.
Bad Dog
I
is
love
one of
Loose.
my favorites. It was I mean, I had obviously heard, Rock and Roll is Black, which instantly was a favorite of mine. And then the more and more I listen to your music, the more and more I'm like, damn, this girl makes actually really good music, and there's actually substance there. And speaking of substance, this is the last song that I'll talk about with your music, because I do want to ask a couple other questions. But you have a song called Loose. And I felt like with Loose, okay, so I feel like you went on the offense with this one. I feel like you actually were more on attack mode, like you was getting, like you was getting it in. So like, okay, so there is a particular part, especially in the video, where you kind of like show up almost like a hero, because you got dudes in the strip club, they're treating women like shit, and then you pull out a bat and start beating something. I'm like, damn, like she went in. Good song, Loose. But just for those who probably haven't seen the video, please explain the idea of Loose for us.
Actually, it wasn't a bat. It's the leg of a table.
Oh, okay.
But basically, yeah, like it's supposed. So Loose is basically like about how the hypocrisy of how men enjoy sex workers, but a lot of the same men will then down or degrade sex workers. So it's kind of like, how are you going to degrade what you enjoy the most, which you support? Like if you're paying women to take their clothes off, does it make any sense for you then to be the same person to talk down on women who take their clothes off? It makes absolutely no fucking sense, So you're just as guilty. You know what I mean? Like if you buy a hooker, you're just as guilty. You can't down them to say, "Oh, you're a fucking whore. You're out here selling pussy, nigga. You're out here fucking buying pussy." Like we're in the same. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all are in the same fucking boat. Like y'all are doing the same shit. Y'all are committing the same sin. So that song for me was just like the frustration of always seeing how men treat sex workers. Like I'm very pro sex worker, pro woman, pro black, pro LGBT, pro basically mind your fucking business. And so yeah, like one thing I don't fucking like is how all these dudes now are trying to make content off of degrading OnlyFans girls, degrading strippers, like oh my god, let's spend half an hour talking about all the women we don't want to date. Like okay, like you don't want to date a sex worker. I'm pretty sure most sex workers don't give a fuck. Like sex workers
they getting paid. They getting a check.
Married, have 20 kids. Like most sex workers are like trying to make fucking money.
Yeah.
So it's just the delusion that some men have that we give a fuck. Like we don't care. We want to make money. Like that's our goal. Not everybody. Just like y'all will sit there and defend the men who are not married in their 40s. They want to be bachelors. They have all this. Okay, there's women the same way. There's women who don't want to be married, who don't want to have kids, or they don't want to settle down. And then there are sex workers that have kids and have families. So, but it's just the delusion of dissing what you support.
Yeah.
And so the concept for Loose had an amazing director, Allison. She was great. And basically, like, it takes place in a strip club. I think we were at the something Rhino. The fuck is it called? It's a Spearmint Rhino in LA. And we rented out the whole strip club. And it was just like, it's supposed to be like the guy comes in with his friends or like being really disrespectful to the girls, you know what I'm saying? Like the girls are dancing and they're like just slapping them, being just really disrespectful. And then I'm looking over, I'm like, oh, for real? And just, you know what? Fuck this shit. Like, we're going to just turn. And I came up with the idea because I had on headphones one day, just like listening to Loose. And I remember just envisioning in my head, I'm just thinking about like strip club gone wild. Like strippers are being disrespected and these guys are coming in. And I used to be a stripper. And I remember like having nights like that where, you're just doing your job.
Yeah.
And you're just doing your job. And the guys have to come in and be dickheads and like just like fuck up the night. You know what I mean? They want to come in and not pay you. They want to just be disrespectful. And so I always in my head back during that time was always thinking like, damn, like one day you just want to like fuck these guys up that are disrespecting you. And I'm pretty sure every sex worker has had a moment like that where you're just like, you just want to turn and fucking slap this shit out of a bad customer. And yeah, so in the video, I fucked this guy up, and then we just go haul ass, and we're just like taking revenge on these guys who disrespected us. And it's supposed to be like a badass sex worker empowerment song, like, you know. And
that's
that's
exactly
why
what I gathered from it too.
Hmm?
So that's exactly what I gathered from it too. Is that exact explanation?
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing, and people obviously misinterpreted that song too into like, oh, how are you gonna diss the same guys that so you hate men, you don't like men? I'm like, it has nothing to do with not liking men. It has to do with not liking dickheads. Like, so you think, like it has to do with not liking hypocritical men who take advantage of sex workers.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where you got the concept of just hating men from. People who just have weird brains. I don't know how they think, because clearly the song's not anti-man. It's anti,
I feel like whenever somebody gets offended by something like that, it's because the shoe fits and people are feeling their own guilt, and then that's how they're actually projecting it by saying, oh, well, you don't like dudes. That's what I get.
What are you talking about? Yeah.
Not once did you ever say you don't like dudes. You don't like dickheads.
And everyone was attacking. I got attacked for months for the man with OTEP on TikTok.
That's crazy.
Like, oh, you're a fucking feminist. You're against men. You are a man hater. You're a man hater. The song's about not liking rapists and sex offenders and, men who sexually assault and take advantage of women. So, you know what I mean? So if you're a man who doesn't do that, why are you offended by the song?
That's my point.
Yeah.
They're offended because they either feel guilty, the shoe fits, or maybe they've even had thoughts about it. It's something there is saying that you've got a fucked up mentality if you get offended by someone saying that they don't like dickheads. So speaking of the world of adult entertainment, there's two questions for you, because I don't want to go into people who are familiar with it, they get it, but people who are not, I feel like you are a woman who is very body positive. You've done Playboy and Penthouse, right? Perfect. Explain to us what that experience was like, just doing, the.
I mean, I've always been comfortable with my body, and I got into the modeling world at 16.
Okay.
And I gravitated towards doing more like sexy stuff that just was, just more body positive, if you want to call it that. And I started off with Playboy at 18. I had my first shoot with Playboy.
Mm-hmm.
And I, worked with them multiple times. I became a playmate in 2015.
Wow.
And I was in Playboy Venezuela, Croatia, Playboy Slovenia, Playboy Mexico, Playboy, just international. And I embraced being a playmate for a long time. I did a lot of hosting. I did a lot of events for Playboy, and I was part of the Playboy TV family as well.
Oh wow!
But I just did a lot of stuff within the that type of modeling. Whatever you want to call that type of modeling. I for years have built a very strong brand in that community. And now I'm a Penthouse pet. I've been a Penthouse pet since 2022? Or was it 2021? No, 2022. Okay. 2022. I became, for March 2022, Penthouse Pet of the Month, and I was on the cover. And, you're a pet for life, so once you're a part of the community, you're always there.
That's pretty cool.
I actually just did a shoot and event for them about a month ago. I went to AVN on behalf of Penthouse, and I did an interview and a quick shoot with them. And, I love being a part of a company like that because, for one, it's very empowering, in my opinion. It's great to be a part of people who know you and understand you, and they get it, you know what I'm saying? You're not judgmental for what you do.
Yeah.
But I love, feeling sexy and being sexy and embracing that part of me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been doing that forever, and I've built a really strong brand in it. So
So, because you have been doing it for a while, do you remember what it felt like when you, like, the first time you were ever, like, in front of a camera and the smallest glance of, like, a nipple came out? Like, I'm asking this question, but, like, what was that experience like? Was you nervous?
I was underage.
Oh, shit.
So it wasn't really a positive situation.
All right. I'm not sure if I would want to go into detail about that, but, like, let's talk about when you were of age.
By the time I was of age, I had already been doing it for 2 years.
Oh shit.
So it was like I was like basically preyed on it first. When I got into it, I got kind of, you know what I mean. The first photo, she was like creepy photographer taking advantage of a 16-year-old, basically.
That's
and
crazy,
then
man.
yeah. So I mean, it wasn't like the industry itself can be very predatory to you when you're very young. So I advise like people to, you know, be protective of minors in the industry. But by the time I was 18, 19 in the business, I had already known what I was doing. And I, you know, it was just like, I was just shooting a lot. I loved just doing photo shoots, going around New York. Like I was 18, 19. I was like all day on the subway, going from photo shoot to photo shoot, doing gigs, getting paid for shoots and music videos. I was making a cute little living from music videos and stuff. I was like getting, at the time, I thought it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
I would get paid like 150, 200 for like music videos and stuff. And I thought it was like big shit at the time.
Wow. That's
crazy. I'd be, I'm doing a music video for 150. And then, but I was hustling. Like I had like my little 9-to-5 job I was doing, you know, the first couple years. But on the side, you know, I made my extra money doing photo shoots. Oh, give me 200 for a shoot. Oh, 150 for a music video. Okay, oh, I'm gonna do a product promotion. So at the time, I was just hustling, just working, just doing my thing. I don't do that. I haven't done that in years because, for one, you cannot hire me for $100 or $200.
Your name is too big now.
And well, there's just no point. I mean, because now I'd rather just shoot myself, and yeah, it's just no point. Like, wow, I'm not gonna go travel for like an hour, half an hour to go make $100. Like, you know, and I put myself in a lot of unsafe, unprofessional settings back then. But like, you know, I was really young, and you know, I'm just having fun, getting and just doing my thing. I did a lot of music videos for free as well. Did tons of free music videos for bigger artists, just so I could get the exposure. Things I just don't do anymore. Now I'm very orchestrated because I worked and I hustled so much back then, but I was basically kind of broke because I'm just hustling and but I'm not really making any money like that. Like it scraps. So now I move smarter. I take bigger jobs. I'm more picky. And I mean, that's what happens as you evolve. Like you don't want to you're not supposed to be desperate 10 years in the game, you know what I mean? Like you're supposed to be at a certain level. Like you can't hire Kevin Hart for like $2,000. You know what I mean? Like it's like you're supposed to level up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I think that you made some smart moves, even though you weren't, you know, making the most amount of money, but you created a name for yourself because people got to start somewhere, right? And sometimes you might do a gig for free, sometimes you might do a gig for $200, but it's those gigs that is building your portfolio. And I think that you did an amazing job with that. So
thank you.
You're very welcome. So what is next for Stormi Maya?
I mean, I'm currently like in slowdown mode because I'm trying to think of bigger moves. Like, so sometimes I feel like as a creative, you want to just like keep hustling and just do a billion things.
Yeah.
And the last couple of years, that's been how I am. I'm just like on the go. But now I've been stepping back and trying to take time to make bigger moves. Like I'm learning that it's quality over quantity. You know, I'd rather get one big project that can really put my name out there and really change my life versus taking on a whole bunch of little small things that just overexert me and doesn't take me anywhere. And I'm really stepping back now and trying to make big moves, trying to start another business, trying to just like really rebrand. I'm working on maybe like a rebrand. I'm working on like maturing my brand. I'm working on just elevating And so I'm kind of taking a little bit of a step back to kind of evaluate where I'm at and trying to think of the next move, basically.
Okay.
And so I've been taking time to kind of make strategies and instead of, like I said, just every day I used to just post, just trying to like do stuff. But now, like I said, I'm stepping back and I'm like, let me make bigger plans. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Because like before I just was like erratic. Like I just want to do stuff. I just want to hustle. And now I'm like, let's like take our time and actually maybe do something that's bigger and better. So
I think that makes sense. So it sounds like you're doing some more smart planning. All right. So before we get out of here, please tell the people where they can find you at.
Okay, so I mean, I'm basically Stormi Maya everywhere. Or if for music, it's Cinnamon Babes. So Cinnamon Babes on all streaming platforms, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, etc., etc. Just put in Cinnamon Babe, and I come up for music. And then for anything else, for anything else, Stormi Maya. Like Stormi Maya on Instagram, Stormi Maya Twitter. Well, it's like Stormi MF Maya on Twitter. Everything is Stormi Maya. I have done a good job of getting my name out there. So if you type it in, a lot will come up.
Just Google it, honestly. Just Google Stormi Maya and she'll pop up with all of her tags. Like,
yeah,
seriously.
if you Google me, like there's pages and pages and pages. There's like hundreds of pictures and hundreds of sites. Like I'm everywhere. Like, so you will have no problem finding me. Because I've been putting work in for 10 years. Like I've been doing this for a decade. So I'm out there.
Perfect. Well, Stormi, I just want to say I really appreciate you stopping by the show, letting me give you an interview. I hope that it was one of your best. And I hope you a lot more success in the future. Please, ladies and gentlemen, give a nice clap for Stormi Maya. Thank you so much. And we'll see you in a minute. Let's give tonight's guest another round of applause. And if you or someone you know has a brand, a product, or talent and wants to be featured on the Midnight Media Review with Moel show, please feel free to email me at therealmoel@gmail.com. And I or my staff will get back to you and try to get you scheduled. But until then, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Remember, life is way too short to not enjoy it. You guys have a good night.